What is up, world? What is up, world? What is up, world? You are in tune to the Know It All podcast. And of course, you got your main man Mod here with you. I am we got some things to discuss today, man. It's Mod's unbiased opinion, and definitely I'm gonna be as unbiased as I possibly can. This is not a show without you guys. I'm definitely here for all of you guys, all of the Steeler fans in the chat, and we're gonna have some conversations. Mod has entered the chat, and we're gonna have some conversations today. And today's subject is one that we got to talk about, man. Should the Steelers wait on Aaron Rodgers? Is this something that should happen? Or should you just go ahead and continue business as usual? And we're going to talk about it, man. We're going to get into it. Make sure that you like and subscribe, like us on Facebook, subscribe on YouTube and Twitch. So when we go live, you'll definitely get those notifications. As well, the memberships are wide open. I just uploaded a whole bunch of film. Anthony Hill, Jordan Tyson, and also Denzel Boston are there for you to kind of check out just film of theirs from throughout the year, all 22. So you can go ahead and check that out for you. All the football fans that are happy. It's shorts and shirts Olympic this weekend. We call it the underwear Olympics. And that all started today. So we're excited about that. Man, we're going to get this show started. We're going to get this show started quickly, and I'm going to be right back. But like I said, make sure that you feel free to ask all of your questions while we're here, because that's what I'm here for, man, to give you my unbiased opinion. We'll be right back.
Yeah. Look, my opinion is my opinion. And my advice, you should listen. Talking love, no competition. Unbiased, forgot to mention. This is the show. Yeah, this is the show. This is the show.
You're gonna learn today.
Yeah, and we are back, man. Look, like I said, we're talking about, should the Steelers wait on Aaron Rodgers? That is the question, man. I mean, because honestly, I feel like if we look at this thing from a legitimate standpoint, waiting on Aaron Rodgers kind of puts you behind the gun, literally, right? Because now, when it comes down to free agent acquisitions, you have to try to make free agent acquisitions with Rodgers in mind. And doing that is a good thing and a bad thing, because if you're getting players who are ready and lining up to play with Aaron Rodgers, they're not lining up to play with anybody else. What's up, Tommy Strings, buddy? What's popping? Again, like I said, this is what we're talking about. Should the Steelers wait on Aaron Rodgers? So, like I said, if you wait on Rodgers and you anticipate Rodgers coming back, and you're saying to yourself, hey, look, we're going to get Aaron. They're the typical, there are players that are lining up to play with Aaron Rodgers, and those guys are specifically there for Aaron Rodgers. And then there's people that you would get to, that if you're going to, bring in a quarterback, which we'll talk about here in a second, those guys are going to definitely be, expecting something different. And here you go. You got Aaron Rodgers supposed to be at the counter. Nobody's there. You got Omar Khan and Mike McCarthy and DK Metcalf all in the line waiting to know what's going on with Aaron Rodgers. So let's talk about it, man. If you wait on Aaron Rodgers, you know that the Steelers definitely have to get, wide receivers in this draft to be able to give him some weapons. But again, with Aaron Rodgers, he doesn't like young guys. So Aaron's going to be wanting you to get veterans. And he doesn't like little fellas. So not only is he going to want you to get veterans, he's going to want you to get big targets. People like Mike Evans from Tampa Bay. You're going to have to look at, trading. Get somebody like DJ Moore from Chicago. You're going to have to get him a guy. Romeo Dobbs, you're going to have to get him a guy. You know what I'm saying? Somebody who he knows, number one, is going to get open. Number two is a pretty big target. He doesn't like those little guys running around. He said, was there any rumor that AR told coach he wants to come back? Yes, he said, but this is what he said. He said he doesn't plan on talking about coming back till the end of March. So, like, you're not going to hear when free agency starts, he's not going to give you an answer automatically, is basically what he's told the Steelers organization. I hear you, man. I mean, you're a veteran and you absolutely deserve to your right to take your time and, figure out what you're going to do. Claude, my guy, my G, he's earned the right to take his time and figure out what he's going to do. He's earned that right. I'm not even going to lie. You know what I'm saying? Rodgers has earned that right, but you kind of holding the team hostage at this point. You know what I'm saying? You're holding the team hostage by not letting them know exactly, what you're going to do, because they have to fill the roster out. You've got to fill the roster. One thing that they could do automatically, one thing that I feel like the Steelers could do to actually help themselves, go get Malik Willis. Malik Willis is going to cost you a little bit. He's going to be I think it's like $71 million, 2 years, $71 million. He's going to cost you a little bit to sit on the bench and back up Aaron Rodgers. But just say that Aaron Rodgers doesn't come back and Malik Willis is the guy. He's going to be a better option than Will Howard. Can we agree on that? Can we agree that bringing in Malik Willis will be a better option than Will Howard, right? Tommy says, agree on Willis. Yeah, absolutely. So, the gist of the matter is that you bring in Malik, and even if you bring in Howard, or even if you convince Rodgers to come back, at that point, you have a brilliant backup in Malik. And Malik's been in the league. He knows how to run an offense. He would be good in that Mike McCarthy offense. But again, this is somebody who you need to bring in. Or let's explore this. Let's get to the comments real quick. He said, just because he earned the right don't mean that the Steelers should be waiting. Get Willis and move on. I hear you. I hear you guys, man. I hear you loud and clear. Claude said, I hope that AR retires and a definite yes to Willis. I like it, man. I mean, like I said, you have a proven player in the NFL. Will Howard is not proven. You don't want to give the keys to the range to somebody who has not driven the car before, right? He hasn't never driven a car, but he's a winner. He's definitely a winner, and he's somebody that you would have, that you would want to have on your squad because he knows how to win. He's gonna get better. Do I think that he's gonna be anything more than a journeyman? No, I don't. I think so. To answer that question, 2 years, $71 million. That's your price for Malik Willis. 2 years, $71 million. And I'm not mad about that. I'm not mad about that at all. I think, Malik has even earned that. What he did with the Packers last year, he earned that. He kept the Packers alive and well till the Jordan Love came back, right? So my question to you guys is, outside of should you wait on Willis, should you wait on Rodgers? A lot of you guys have already weighed in. What do you do in the meantime? What offensively, what are you doing in the meantime? Because not only do you have to help Rodgers, you got to help whatever quarterback that's coming in. Afton, what's going on? You got to help whatever quarterback that's coming in. You got to help the offense, period. You got to help the offense, period, right? I think, of course, you got the two running backs. You have Warren, and then you have the running back that you drafted last year that was hurt. But, I still say you need to bring it because you don't know what Gainwell's going to do. So I still say you need to get another running back. You need to get another lineman to solidify your line. But more importantly, you need wide receivers, period, point blank, right? So you need another you need at least 2 to 3 more wide receivers to fill out that room. Big G, my guy, he said there's no way in HE double hockey sticks we're giving Willis 2 years, $71 million. That's my God. G's passionate, man. Listen, that's his asking price, G. And I'm gonna tell you something. is it worth? Let's ask, because I'm glad you said this, G. Is it worth not passing on Willis and having to just go with Howard? Because that's what you're going to do. And then here's the other thing. Like we're going to talk about that. As a matter of fact, since you took me to that segue already, there are 3 legitimate picks in the draft that, you know, the Steelers could go with to actually push Howard, right? To see if Howard is going to be there. You bring in a K. Klubnik, 6'2", 210 from Clemson. Or you bring in a Garrett Nussmeier, 6'1", 202 from LSU. Or you look at Drew Aller. And all these guys, you be looking at it in round 3 at pick 76, 85, or 99. Right? So we're saying we're going to take some young guys, a group of young guys, and we're going to let McCarthy take these young guys and see what we can do. But if you're going to do that, you need the Avengers on the outside, buddy. If you're going to have a rookie quarterback, you're going to have to assemble the Avengers at wide receiver. You're not going to be able to sit here and, pacify and act like, these guys can operate with average talent. No, you're going to have to get somebody outside of DK Metcalf, outside of Pat Freiermuth, outside of Mount Washington, to be able to have some targets. Because I'm going to tell you, you don't want your quarterback sitting there looking confused. That's what Dak did. And you know what happened that year with Dakota Rain Prescott? He threw a league-leading interception. I think it was over 20 interceptions that year. You don't want that. If you don't get a quarterback right off the rip, you need to assemble the Avengers at wide receiver, because if you don't have people who can get open, because we had Noah Brown, we had CeeDee Lamb, we had buddy who was over there at Miami, Cedric, I forget Cedric's last name. But anyway, they weren't getting open. So Dak was getting mauled, and he was throwing up prayers to people seeing if they was catching. We were throwing to Amos and Andrew. So you have to assemble the Avengers at wide receiver. If Rodgers doesn't come back and you're going to go with Will Howard, or you're going to go with one of these youngsters, you're going to have to do something. Claude, for the $5, the Steelers need a mobile quarterback. Rodgers moves like a senior citizen. This is a good show because I didn't expect that, Claude. You were making some good points. You were cooking for a minute. Then it came off the rails. Tommy said, I do like Drew's arm. He said, just because I'm not on the show doesn't mean I can't see you to the Matrix, Claude. G's a fool. That's my brother, man. Y'all do know that G is my real brother. That's my blood brother. We have the same father. That's my guy. So my point is, I've seen this movie before, Steeler fans. I've seen this movie. I've absolutely seen it before. If you do not give these youngsters, if Rodgers doesn't come back, and even if Rodgers comes back, you need to get DK some help, right? You need to get DK some help. You need to be able to work play action. Rodgers is best in play action, right? And the thing that Mike McCarthy's offense doesn't do much is motion. So they're not motioning to get anybody open. They're running to those choice routes, and they're at a certain spot. So the quarterback and the wide receivers have to be on the same page. If you don't have a running game, if you don't have any type of running game at all, right? Any type of running game, any semblance of running game, you know what's going to happen? The same thing that happened to Dakota Rain Prescott. You're going to be throwing up wish, hope, and prayer balls, and you don't want that. If you're just throwing passes up and hoping somebody's catching it, you don't want that. That's why we had to move on from Dalton Schultz, because he couldn't really get open. I mean, over there at the Texans, he's going to catch it, but he's not really getting separation. You know, Fergie's getting separation. You know, and you need wide receivers who know how to get separation. S. Dresden, what's up, my guy? He said negative on Willis, Howard, and Rodgers. You don't want nobody. Thank you for the $20. You don't want nobody. I mean, you have to get somebody, S. Dresden. You have to have somebody in here to play quarterback. It's a necessary evil. And like I said, if you're gonna go with rookies, you need to assemble the Avengers. That needs to happen. You need to have Iron Man out there on one side. You need to have Captain America on the other side, and you need to have Black Panther in the slot. I'm telling you, it's one of those things that's gonna have to happen. And so, like I said, Rodgers not telling you, waiting on, because going back to our original question, waiting on Aaron Rodgers has you now looking for a certain group of people, as Dresden, right? You have to look for people who are specific to Rodgers' skill set and what he wants. He wants big frame wide receivers. You could get a Denzel Boston in the draft. You really could. You could get a Denzel Boston in his draft. And I mean, look at him. He's 6'4", 210. Boy, don't draft. But again, Aaron Rodgers hates rookies. He doesn't like young cats because he's like, young cats don't got it. And I'm telling you, that'll be a rookie he would like. But like I said, waiting on Rodgers puts you in a dilemma. So I would build, and you guys tell me if I'm wrong, I would build as if Rodgers is not coming back and add pieces that still would accentuate his skill set, but at the same time that would help the young guys that I got coming in, right? Big G, thank you, as Dresden. New show tonight, minutes to year, 6 o'clock. Yeah, watch that. It's going to be hot. He said that would leave with Rudolph. Let me tell you, Rudolph is expendable. He's the odd man out of this room. And I think Rudolph is gone. I think he's done, he's done his time in the North Pole. He's probably going to get somewhere else again. You know what I'm saying? Rod, the sports guru, need an offense that keeps DCs up all night worrying how to stop it. Yes, absolutely. And like I said, you got to be able to get wide receivers that are going to help you to facilitate that need, sir. Rod, you need that, man. You need that. If you don't get wide receivers who can facilitate that need and can facilitate and play that way, because look, like I told you, Mike McCarthy's offense is built on scheme and built on choice routes. He loves the tight end. He loves to work the middle of the field, which is something that didn't happen last year. He loves to work the middle of the field with the tight ends, but you need a tight end who's going to get open. Freiermuth can do that. I like Freiermuth as a tight end prospect. I like what he does. I believe in him. I think that's a guy. That's a dude. That's a dude in your tight end room right there. So you can build around him and you can do some things with him. DK, you can do some things with, but you need another X over there who can get open. You need a slot who can get open. You need somebody who can get open for real, because you need to get, again, the quarterback in a Mike McCarthy offense is all about timing and getting rid of the ball. Timing and get rid of the ball. 1, 2, 3, bam. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, bam. At the top of a quarterback's drop, McCarthy likes for the ball to be gone, and he likes for decisions to be made. But here's another thing. Like I said, you need to build on the zone principles, the zone running principles for that offensive line, right? And Big G pointed this out yesterday. The zone principles in the offensive line, y'all have new coaches who will be able to build from that perspective, and I love that. I love that. But if you remember, again, you need to go back to his history. Tony Pollard had a great year. Why? Because he was running that outside inside zone, those outside inside zone principles. And then when you do that, now play action is hitting. And then your tight end's going to be open by, just process of elimination. Your tight end is open, and then you can have a decent wide receiver. But I mean, I'm just going to tell you, you need a guy. You need a guy over there on the other side from DK. Let's go to this. Mark, what's up, my guy? He said, facts, Mod, the first time a rookie runs the wrong route, AR gonna free them out. Absolutely. He be wilding. Big G said we can have Pierce, Cooper from Indiana, and DK and be fine. Not the Avengers, but good. My brother. My brother. I'm just sitting here telling everybody we from the same bloodline. If you don't have Rodgers, you're not gonna be fine with just Pierce and Cooper and DK. You're not going to be fine, because I don't know Cooper, you like Cooper like that, but I don't know that Cooper's going to get open. I've seen him struggle against press coverage before. DK's he's proven. Alec Pierce, he's proven. He can get open, right? But you need somebody who can get open. And then, again, this is a Mike McCarthy offense that we're talking about, right? Can Willis run a choice route offense? I think so, because the other element of Willis's game is he can run. So, if he gets in trouble and he doesn't see it, Dak was running in the early part of his career. If you think about this, when Tony Romo got hurt, right? Dak was a runner. McCarthy wasn't there yet. But in the very beginning when McCarthy got there, Dak was still running, right? And Dak would run to extend drives, and that would be what it is. When he's leaving it all out on the field, he run to extend drives. Then when he got hurt against the Giants, he stopped all that running. But you need a quarterback who's mobile, like Claude said. Claude said this earlier, and I applaud Claude for that. You need a quarterback who's mobile and not a statue, who can get outside of the pocket. He doesn't always have to pull the ball back down and run, right? But can just move around in the pocket, move up in the pocket, move back in the pocket, and then make a throw. You know what I'm saying? Good, bad, and ugly. Make a throw. But if you can do that, your tight ends are going to be open in the field. Those are big targets. Freiermuth and Mount Washington are big targets. Big G said we could have Dobbs, Bell, and DK and be fine. Okay, I'll give you that. But that's borderline. That's borderline Spider-Man, Winter Soldier, and Iron Man. So they're still the Avengers, bro. It might be a different version of the Avengers, the West Coast Avengers, but it's still the Avengers. You know what I'm saying? I'm just, you can say what you want to say. That's still the Avengers, bro. I mean, we're talking about putting a unit together who are just not out here getting cardio. These guys are actually end up playing the position of wide receiver. He said, no, Willis can't run that skin. I think he can. Especially with a whole bunch of boot and stuff involved. S. Dresden, he said, DK is toast. Thank you for the 10, bro. Thank you for the 10. So let's talk about DK, man. I believe in DK, man. I really believe in DK. I think DK at the least is a wide receiver that he's a Robin. If you have a Batman, he's not an alpha in the room by far, right? He's not an alpha in your room by far. He's not somebody who is fixing to just pick him up and put him down, right? But he's a guy. You know what I'm saying? He's a guy. Big G did a piece. Is he a guy or a dude? He's a guy. He's a guy. I mean, until he shows me that, because the point is Tyler Lockett was the dude when he was at Seattle. And when you got somebody who you got a double team on the other side, you can't one-on-one DK. You know what I'm saying? You can't do it. He is a 50-50 guy. And you could put a pass up in the air, he's gonna come down with it. So he's not exactly toast. He's a bagel. I'll say it like that, as Dresden. He's not exactly toast. He's a bagel. Thanks again for the 10, man. As Dresden says, Romeo Dubs, negative. Big G said, big toast, as Dresden. We should trade him. Ryan, DK can be a silent killer as long as you have a dog. That's what I said. He's a Robin. You got to have a Batman with him. You have to have a Batman with DK Metcalf. If you don't have a Batman with him, he's average. He becomes. Let me tell you what he is. Let me tell you what he is. He's a dog that when you go to the back fence, you could put your hand through and touch him, and he'll smell your hand, and he'll go, maybe lick your hand and go on back. He was growling at first, but you noticed that his tail was wagging. It wasn't straight up. You know what I'm saying? He's a puppy. Nice little puppy. He's not one of them that you got to put beware the dog on the side of the fence. He's not that guy. You know what I'm saying? He's not a Jamar Chase. He's not a what's your guy over there? Jefferson. He's not a Jamar Jefferson. You know, he's not even a JSN. You know what I'm saying? He's not a Puka Nakua. He ain't one of those guys. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, he's a puppy. He's, oh, look, let me pet your dog. He's one of those guys. He's not a dog that you got to walk around with a muzzle on their face because, you know, hey, look, don't do that. He'll bite you. You know what I'm saying? That ain't DK Metcalf. Rod said, we read that one. He said, bagel, I like it. S. Dresden, 20, said, Mark, who would you take if Makai and any old lineman was on the board? I've said it already. This S. Dresden, I'm glad you asked that question. Here's my guy. This is my guy I want the Steelers to get. You know what I'm saying? Here's my guy, bro. And the reason why I say this is my guy, I explained it earlier. Mike McCarthy loves to run the inside and outside zone. That's where Tony Pollard made a living, right? This guy has tight end feet, but he's a tackle, and he is a dog. If he's available at 21, that's who you go get. That's who you go get right there. You go get that dude. You know what I'm saying? Because that dude makes you a lot better. That dude is going to make that offensive line because you're able to his name starts with the F. You're able to roll your tackle down to guard. He's playing on the inside, right? And then you have Fanu, who's going to be on the outside as your tackle. And when you have a good guard and tackle in a zone run scheme, guess what? You cooking with grease now, buddy. You're cooking with grease. So, S. Justin, thank you for the 20. And that is who I'm looking at. That's the guy I'm looking at right there. Tommy said, so could we get a free agent Batman to go? Yes. Pierce is, well, no, Pierce is not a Batman. He's another Robin, but he will open up the game. Christian Kirk will open up the game because these are guys who, you know, you're going to have to scheme against because they're going to get open. These guys can actually get open, right? To me, if we're talking about Batman, you know, the boy who I would trade for is 2 trades I would make, and and one of them is already saying he's trying the free agent market. Mike Evans, that's Batman. That's Batman, right? I try Mike Evans, or I trade for DJ Moore. Me personally, right? But DJ Moore has done more with less. He had no quarterback, and he was getting open. When he was at the Panthers, he was studding up. This is a guy who I would get who would draw double coverage and would make DK have single coverage, and he'd open that thing up like Prometine Miss, man. Big G said, a big everything bagel with onion. I love it, G. Tommy said, I really like fun. I'm going to tell you something, man. Fanu fits perfect in the Steelers system. Perfect fit. He's a perfect fit, my guy. I mean, when I say he fits, that's a square peg going into a square peg. That guy fit. He fits in that offense, and he make that thing a pressure cooker, man. He makes it a pressure cooker. Because like I said, if you have a great offensive tackle and you have a good guard running zone schemes, inside and outside zone running schemes, you're going to be able to tear him up. You're going to be able to tear him up. I'm telling you. And then running backs like Gainwell, the running back from Iowa, and the running back that you've always had, little fella, I'm telling you, those 3 guys look like all-stars because you got smash and dash all over again. You're ready. You know what I'm saying? You're ready. So that's what I need. Big G said, I'm taking the O-lineman from Penn State all day and night. Number 71 is a Pro Bowler all day and night. Vega is his name. Absolutely. Vega's the guy. Vega is a monster. We can look at his stats real quick. Vega, Ione, his pass protection is his calling card. And what do you want to do with Rodgers and DK? You want to pass the ball, right? This guy ain't finna let nothing go. 613 snaps. Look at this. He only had, look, you need to understand, listen to this: 0 sacks, 0 hits, and only 4 hurries across 613 snaps. So you mean to tell me for 613 snaps, this man didn't give up 1 hurry. He didn't give up 1 hit. You know what I'm saying? That's remarkable. That's remarkable. When you have somebody who's playing at that level, we're talking top tier. So, G, you're right, man. He's a guy, too. He's a guy that's plug and play, and you put him in. Like I said, you have a good guard, or you have a great guard and a good tackle, it works. If you have a great tackle and a good guard, it works. Those things work on a zone running scheme, and you need that. You need that. The Steelers need that, and I will take that any day, twice on Sundays, man. Thank you for that comment, bro. He said Fano might be long gone by the time we pick. You're absolutely right, man. You're absolutely right. I'm sure he's gonna go in the top of the draft pretty fast. You know what I'm saying? I mean, because he's a generational talent, but the guy at Penn State's a generational talent as well. So I mean, like I said, these are plug and play guys, and you don't get them too often. And there's not a lot of plug and play guys in this draft. Next year, in next year's draft, there's a whole bunch of plug and play guys. I'm talking about at least 61 of them. Me and G been counting, you know, and the list keeps going up. There's at least 61 of these guys that's plug and play. 61 guys that will have a first round draft grade from next year. And if you don't believe me, I tell you what, I will go down the list with you personally. All you got to do is hit me up, and we will go down the list with you personally. And I'll tell you, there's a lot of talent in next year's draft. Oh, S. Dresden, thank you for the $2, bro. My take on Simpson. Brother, let me tell you. Simpson is a project. I would literally take Taron Green from Arkansas before I took Simpson. Simpson's probably going to go higher, but he's a project to me. I'm going to tell you why. Simpson disappeared in a lot of the bigger games this year. He disappeared. I'm talking about totally disappeared. And I don't want anybody in at my quarterback position who's going to disappear when it matters the most. You know what I'm saying? The thing about Howard is he's a winner. He was a winner at K-State, and he won it all at Ohio State. So I'll take Howard. I'll take a flyer on Howard. Simpson, he's got, to me, he's got flop written all over him. Now, in the Underwear Olympics, he's going to have a good showing. He's going to interview well, but he's got flop written all over. I'm talking about flop. With it, you how I'm popping my pee, flop. He got flop written all over him, and I wouldn't take him. I don't trust it. Mark Cunningham, Mike Evans would work for a year if they insist on AR coming back, but injuries the last couple of years worry me. No Rodgers, no if Rodgers is not coming back. Absolutely. And you only need him for a year. Remember, I told you 2027 draft is loaded. I'm talking about absolutely loaded. And all you got to do is just keep it. You hold on. Be still yet holding on when 2027 draft rolls around. I hope they go after Pierce in free agency and grab the monster from Penn State in the first round, in the corner in the second round, and wide receiver in third. That works. That absolutely works. That is a winning, Craig. Thank you. That's a great comment, bro. And that's a winning formula, because if they go after Pierce, you've got a running mate for DK, right? You get a wide receiver in the third, which is still going to be a pretty good wide receiver. You got about 20 of them in this draft, 15 to 20 that are going to be really decent, right? You have about 7 that are going to be good. You have 4 that are going to be elite, right? So you have 4 wide receivers that'll be elite. You have 7 that are going to be good, and you've got about 12 to 13 that are going to be decent in the league, right? G said, heck no to Simpson. And Rye Rod D said, please leave Simpson in the green room on our pick. O-line, a top wide receiver. Absolutely. He said, I would take Aller before Simpson. Absolutely. Drew Aller has a chance to be a really 15-year quarterback in the league. He really does. He has all the intangibles. He's going to come out of the underwear Olympics, and they're going to be comparing Drew Aller to Josh Allen. You watch what I tell you. The boys like that. The boys like that. Me too, Tommy. I like it. Dwayne, what up, fam? What up, man? Felicia, what's up? She said, keep up the good work. Thank you. Take boy for fresh. He said, Mike Evans not signing no one-year deal, looking to be his last year. Doug Pierce for the Steelers needs. I like it. I mean, the thing I love about Tate is his mind is going to always be thinking business, front office stuff first, right? He's going to be thinking front office stuff first. So from a front office perspective, that's good. But what if Mike only takes a one-year deal? What if he wants a one-year deal just to play with Aaron Rodgers and see if they can go get it? You know what I'm saying? He might feel like he can go get it and be about his business and bet on himself. Then what? I'll take him on a one-year deal. If he signs a one-year deal, I'll take him on a one-year deal. He said, last deal, Evans plus K. Klubnik. Okay. I like it, Tate. That's a good thought. Rod D, all this means we'll trade up for Simpson so he let down early. Listen, man, we don't want to be let down early. I don't think that they're gonna be that narrow to pick a Simpson. I don't care what it looks like. Drew Aller is very slow of foot compared to Josh Allen. Yeah, but he's hard. The thing about that, Robert, thank you for your comment. I'm glad you said that. He's hard to tackle, bro. He's a big guy. He's really hard to tackle. I mean, let me show you something. This guy's hard to bring down. If you look at he's 6'5", 235. You're not just bringing him down. He's not going down like that. And he has elite arm talent, bro. He has elite arm talent. He really does. He's had the thing that you're thinking about with Drew Aller and you're not really understanding, he's had no talent around him. None, except running backs. You can throw screens and wheel routes to running backs. Only other person he had was the tight end, but he's never had any wideouts. You get this guy some wideouts, and he might could do some things. Craig Willow, the tape doesn't lie. The underwear Olympics does lie. Absolutely. The underwear Olympics lie. My guy, S. Dresden, thank you for the 10. Mackay or Pons? Well, let's talk about this. We talked about Pons yesterday. I don't like Pons. G and Tate like Pons. I don't like him at all. I'm going to tell you why. He was able to get by in college at 5'9", 5'10". I just don't like it, man. You too small. The big guys in the league are gonna beat you down. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna beat you down. So he said Mackay and Pond. So Mackay Lemon. I'm gonna talk to you about Mackay Lemon, right? Mackay Lemon is a poor man Steve Smith. Poor man Garrett Wilson. His catch radius is going to be the thing that shock a lot of people. He's probably going to have upwards of a 37-inch vertical. His arms are super long. He runs to daylight. The one thing, and he worked on this. See, this is a sign of a good wide receiver. He worked on being able to get off of press coverage, because in press coverage he would get jammed at the line, and he worked on that and became better at it this year, which tells me that he has a great work ethic. He's gonna get himself into shape, and he cares about his game, right? So I would take a fly on Mackay at 21. Pons, I would not. If I got Pons, for me, Pons, third round, all right. I take him at 99. I take him. What's the other pick right there in the third round? I'll take him at 85. I'll take him at 85 all day long, twice on Sundays, and put him in as a I put him into a zone scheme, and he'd be my nickelback. Robert said Klubnik is a legit 4-6 guy, but let me. Another thing I point out about Cade Klubnik is he comes from a long line of Westlake High School quarterbacks, and they tend to be successful in the league. Drew Brees, my guy from Philadelphia, Sam Ehlinger, Nick Foles is who I was thinking about. Those guys have been successful and had some success in the league. Big G worked, but not as hard as you, Big G in the room. That's my guy. Let's see here. Rod D said, I would take a poor man Steve Smith all day. Yeah, he's that guy. That's exactly who he is. I mean, to a T. If you look at the comp and you start thinking about what I'm saying with him, he's gonna get open. He's tough. He's working on his game. He's not playing around. He's not gonna be a guy who's gonna disappear on you. You know, he in the slot, he's gonna work hard to get open. He's gonna, but again, if you like Aaron Rodgers and you want to bring Aaron Rodgers back, Aaron Rodgers don't like little guys. And Makai's gonna be 5'10". He's not gonna be any he's not gonna be any taller. He's gonna be 5'10". And again, if Rodgers has any say so, which he always does, Rodgers always has say so in the room. He has sway in the room. Makai Lemon won't be a guy that you get. Craig Willow, what does the Steelers do with Roman Wilson if Rodgers comes? Because he didn't like, he's a little fella. That's why Rodgers don't like him. He's a little guy. You know what I'm saying? And Rodgers don't like little guys. He likes big targets, big wide receivers. Big backs. He likes big backs, and he cannot lie. That's what it is. It is what it is. Facts right. The measurements might drop him to the 4th or 5th round on the board. Yeah. Stu Bus Driver, what's up? That's my guy. So as we're about to put a bow on this, man. Should the Steelers continue to keep waiting on Aaron Rodgers? And if you do, what moves you gonna make? So I'm gonna ask you guys. You guys tell me, if you wait on Aaron Rodgers, what are the moves you make? You know, I saw a couple people say, you know, Tate said, you know, you get Pierce, you get another wide out, and then in the draft you draft a wide out, or draft a cornerback, and I like that, right? But what do? I think so. Here's my answer to that question. I say you go business as usual. You know what I'm saying? I like picking up Malik Willis. I understand that $71 million for 2 years is a big, it's a big number to pay for a backup quarterback, but it beats you going to go get somebody like Kirk Cousins and trying to dress him up, spray cologne on it when we all know what it is. You know what I'm saying? So I think you get a Malik Willis. You bring Howard through the ranks slowly. You know, and then you spend, you also, with Willis, you bring in another guy, a Christian Kirk, a Pierce. You know, you bring in one of those guys, or even a Romeo Dobbs. You bring in one of those three guys, and then you draft a Denzel Boston, and or you draft another lineman or in the first round. But to me, I would go after a Denzel Boston. Now you've totally fixed that wide receiver room. Wide receiver room done. You got a decent quarterback, right? You can address your other needs later on because you got a ton of draft picks. And if you just keep moving, and if Rodgers comes back, you already have stuff in place. It just is what it is. I don't think it's fair, but there's no such word as fair. But I just don't like the way that Rodgers is holding the team in limbo because I have to put a roster together that is going to be competitive. I can't do that when I don't know who my quarterback is going to be. So, as Dresden said, wait for Rodgers for what? Craig Willow says, nah, ain't waiting on Rodgers. He said, Rod D said, if you wait, get 3 wide receivers in free agency and a guard in the draft and other needs. I like that one too. That's a good fix. Mark Cunningham, Rodgers is making the decision before free agency starts this year, is what I've been seeing. I hope that's true. He said he wasn't making a decision anytime soon. That's what I heard. And maybe I'm hearing wrong. But all of the publications that I see, he's saying he ain't making no decision. The free agency starts in March, and we're a week away from March. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. Willis is Howard. Howard is Willis. Boston is a fraud. Let me tell you something, S. Dresden. Let me tell you something, bro. I'm finna go ahead and help you with something. This man, Boston, is 6'4", right? He got vice grips for hands. In his college career, he's only dropped 4 passes in 4 years in college. Last year, he only dropped 1 pass. And watching film, watching all 22, which I put in the member at all 22 film, I put a couple pieces of it inside of the member line. I'm just fixing to tell you something. The drop that he had was outside of the end zone, wouldn't have counted as a catch anyway, but he went to go get it. And he didn't have some savant at quarterback either, right? Williams was a decent quarterback. He wasn't a savant. This is a touchdown machine, and I promise you, if he runs a 4.4, he's going to be one of the top 10 to 15 people going in this draft. The guy's a dog. Denzel Boston is not a fraud. I promise you. I promise you, he's a surefire target. Thank you, Edgerton. Claude, $2. He said the Rodgers experiment should have ended in January. Man, Claude, you ain't never lied. You know what I'm saying? I mean, honestly, at this point, keeping Rodgers around we're playing like he's coming back. To me, is kind of like, you know. Yeah, it's one of them things where you're holding the team in hostage. I cannot move forward if I'm holding on to you. You know what I'm saying? I'm holding on to this pole, but I'm saying I need to get over across town. I can't take the pole with me. It won't uproot. So I'm just going to stay in the same place. And the team doesn't need to stay in the same place. The team needs to keep advancing, need to start signing people. Need to start putting pieces in place, but I can't put pieces in place because you're the guy who's going to be making a lot of these decisions. And if I go get a guy that you don't like, now you pissed off and you ain't coming back anyway. So I just waited and wasted my time. I don't want to waste my time. You know what I'm saying? Time is the only thing that we have that we can't get more of, and wasting it is not something we should do sitting here on Aaron Rodgers. If we're going to wait, in the meantime, waiting, you need to start signing folks like Mark Cunningham said, need to start signing folks, getting wide receivers in here. And that just is what it is. Thank you for the $2, Claude. I appreciate you. Robert said, if I'm the Steelers, I'm making the decision, not right. Bet. Yes, I'm making the decision. You know what I'm saying? He said, S. Dresden, Boston is not excited. I hear you, but you got to watch the film, bro. You need to watch the film, S. Dresden. I promise you. Watch the film, my guy. Watch the film. If you be seeing what I see. Like at first I was like, man, who's this doing Denzel Boston? I was like you. I really was, S. Dresden. I really was, my brother. I was just like you until I went and watched the film. Film don't lie. Film don't lie, man. And this boy's hands are reliable. He went across the middle. He knew he was going to get pulverized. He caught the ball. And look, let me tell you something else that's exceptional about him. If you don't believe me, go watch. If you don't believe me, go watch Steve Smith breaking him down. The thing that I noticed is his catch radius is unbelievable. If you throw the ball low, he's catching it. He's 6'4". he's able to scrape that thing off the ground, bro. If you throw the ball high, he's a 60-40 guy. He's coming down with it. If it touches his hands, it's his. And he's already doing things like, I'll tell you, look at the clip in the membership spot. He's already doing things like catching the ball, getting 2 feet in bounds. He's pro ready right now. Just add water. If he runs a 4.4, guaranteed top draft pick. He'll be gone before the Steelers pick. Just get, Rod said, just get Willis and Pierce and let AR go walk on the beach and sit in the dark closet. Yeah, absolutely. Boston has the bloodline too. Yep. Surratt from India is colder than Boston. I watch film. Hey, I like Surratt. He ain't that guy. He's not Denzel Boston. I guarantee. I think Surratt is even shorter. He's not that guy. When I'm telling you, men lie, women lie, numbers don't. He only dropped 1 ball this year. 1. And he didn't have a savant at quarterback. I mean, 1. He said, Boston is a mid-round project lineman. I hear you, S. I'm telling you, do me a favor. Do me a favor, please. On the membership line, go watch some of the film I put in. And then if you get some more All 22, you get a chance, watch it. He doesn't drop. If it hits his hands, he's catching it. I mean, he's catching it. That's a guy you want, man. That's a guy you want. You don't have to develop him. When is the player more important than the team? So if Rodgers isn't with the Steelers before free agency starts, bye. I like that. Oh, Rod D. This is a guy that I ain't talked about much, but I like him. He's a 4.5 guy. Definitely gonna run about a 4.5, but he's 6'4". He's 6'4". He's gonna measure 6'4.5", something like that. He is a touchdown catch waiting to happen. But if I was the Steelers though, and I got him, I need a Alec Pierce on the other side, or I need a Christian Kirk on the other side, or I need a Mike Evans on the other side from DK. Because if I put this guy, Malachi Fields, in the slot, we cooking with gas. We cooking with gas, for real. For real. We're cooking with gas. And here's another thing, S. Dresden, I got to say this. When we're talking about Denzel Boston is a legitimate X. He's got the body of an X receiver. He's a starter right now. On the other side, he is, and look, in a couple years, he'll be your alpha in the room, bro. You know what I'm saying? He'll be your alpha in the room. This is the guy, 20 touchdowns in 2 years, and most of that came in the end zone. I'm telling you, the boy just knows how to win. He knows how to use his body position. He knows how to get himself in position. He doesn't catch with his body. He uses his hands, and his hands are strong. That's a guy. That's a dude. That is Denzel Boston's a dude. Malachi Fields is a guy I like. I really like him. I like Malachi Fields as much as I like Chris Brazzell. And you know, I'm gonna tell you something. Big G hates Chris Brazzell. He absolutely despises him. Look, you guys, make sure that you leave your comment online. You know what I'm saying? Let me know what you think. Should we wait on Rodgers? Should the Steelers wait on Rodgers? This is my unbiased opinion. I don't feel like they should. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, when we're talking about this, you know, Aaron Rodgers not being at the window, I don't feel like they should wait on Rodgers, man. You got DK waiting. You got Omar Khan waiting. You got Mike waiting. I just don't think they should wait no more. You know what I'm saying? I don't think it should happen. But I appreciate you guys for rocking with me. Make sure that you like and subscribe. Like us on Facebook. Subscribe on YouTube and Twitch. So when we go live, you'll definitely get those notifications. If you are not part of the Know It All Nation in the membership, you're missing out, you guys. Like I said, there's things that were put up there, some draft content by Tate, by myself, by Big G, that's there. And then I got all 22 that I'm just loading in for all of the members, because I want you guys to watch the same film that we looking at. I want you to see the things that we're seeing, because definitely those things are helpful inside of your decision for this 2026 draft. And you want to know who to watch when we get to this underwear Olympics, man. I'm telling you. Last two comments here. S. Justin Mod, would you take for the Cowboys Mekhi or Boston? Absolutely, without a shadow of a doubt. If we were looking for a wide receiver in the first round, Boston's gonna be there, and I would take Boston. Now, I mean, because like I said, Mekhi Lemon has all of the stuff that Boston have, but Boston has the one thing Mekhi doesn't. He's 6'4". They both are, but they both have good hands. Mekhi's hands are really good. They're not as good as Denzel Boston's, but Mekhi's 5'10". You know what I'm saying? Hey, look, I want somebody who's 6'4", who can go get it, who run a 4.4. Hey, all day, every day, twice on Sundays. Craig Willow, thank you. I appreciate you, brother. I appreciate you. Well, man, I'm finna get out of here, man. Thank you. Like I said, thank you guys for rocking with me. I will be back here again, same bad time, same bad channel on next Monday with my unbiased opinion. Peace.
Yeah. Look, my opinion is my opinion. And my advice, you should listen. Talking love, no competition. Unbiased, forgot to mention. This is the show.